Hello and very welcome everyone to this session of the Ancient History Part 2 Previous Year Questions. Today we are going to discuss some more questions related to the topics of ancient history, and in that particular phase we are going to discuss some questions and we'll also discuss that what is the probability of some other type of questions that will come into your exam with the help of these questions. Before we start, these are the topics I got covered for you through questions in this session. So I've got Indus Valley Civilization, Vedic civilization, and at last I will summarize all the things for all of you. Before we start, the images used in our slide deck are for educational purpose only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. So first question that we have with us is regarding the Harappan civilization. So the question is, Harappan civilization flourished around 2500 BC. What do we call them today? So basically it is asking the region where it was found to be. So the options are Pakistan, Afghanistan, West India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, West India, or India and China. So here is your particular time. Just think about it and answer me the question. So I think you have got the right answer. So the question is, Harappan civilization flourished around 2500 BC. What do we call them today? So the answer of this question is West India and Pakistan. The option is B. So as we know that most of the sites of the Harappan civilization are majorly found in this region only. That is the West Pakistan. That is the West India and the Pakistan region. And Harappan civilization developed around 2500 BC. The civilization extends into West India and Pakistan. The first site discovered was Harappa, and it was discovered in 1921 by Dairam Sahani under the generalship of the ASI under the John Marshall. So remember, Harappan civilization is majorly found in West India and Pakistan. Okay, another question for all of you today. And her question is, the history of India begins with the birth of Indus Valley civilization, which came into existence almost. So it is asking you that in which year it was came into existence approximately. Options are 2500 BC, 4500 BC, 1500 BC, or 6500 BC. So just think about it. And very right. I hope you got the answer right because in last question we got the hint. So the answer is 2500 BC. It is very clear. So the Harappan civilization developed around 2500 BC. The civilization extends into the Western India and Pakistan. The largest site of Harappan civilization currently is Rakhigadi, and the first ever discovered site of the Indus Valley civilization was Harappa, discovered in 1921 in Sindh. Another one is, what was the most important feature of Indus Valley civilization? And particularly this question came in 2016 third shift, and options are exchange system, local transport system, building made of bricks, administrative system. And here is your time, just think about it. Okay, so let's solve this question. So the most important feature of Indus Valley civilization was building made of bricks. So this is the particular discovery that we got related to the Indus Valley civilization, that the buildings were made of bricks. Most important feature of Indus Valley civilization was the buildings made of bricks. It is prominent among the world ancient Sil River Valley civilization. Bricks was made in all Harappan settlement buildings. Bricks of this period were in the certain ratio, which was generally 4:2:1, length, breadth, and height, respectively. So remember, the most important feature was the building made of bricks, and especially the burnt bricks. And some civilization, like if we go to Rajasthan, then Kalibanga was also considered as a pre-Harappan civilization because the bricks found at that place was mud bricks. Another question, Indus Valley civilization. Only the question is like this, and it was asked in 2017 first third shift. So it is asking you that it is which kind of civilization. Options are Copper Age, Iron Age, Axis era, or Bronze Age. And just think about it. Here's your time. So I think you have got the answer right. So the answer of this question is Bronze Age civilization. Here you can see that these people, they are casting the bronze, particularly for making the weapons and other tools that will help them in defending themselves. And other than that, they can also particularly do agricultural works. So Indus Valley civilization, always remember, it was a Bronze Age civilization because they get to know about copper and tin, and after that amalgamation, they brought up the bronze. So Indus Valley civilization is also called a Bronze Age civilization. The first metal used in this civilization was the mixture of copper and tin. 1400 centers of Indus Valley civilization have been discovered, out of which 925 centers are in India. This civilization was widespread and around Indus River and its tributaries. So option is answer is Bronze Age civilization. Another one, we have the people of Indus Valley civilization mixed copper and tin to make. We just discussed about this one, so I don't think that you need much more thinking about this. So here's your time. And I hope you got it right. So the answer of this question, we just discussed about this one. So the answer is B, bronze. Here you can see some of the utensils that were discovered or excavated from Indus Valley civilization. So Indus Valley civilization, also called a Bronze Age civilization, the first metal used in this civilization was a mixture of copper and tin. 1400 centers of Indus Valley civilization have been discovered, out of which 925 are in India. Civilization was widespread around Indus River and its tributaries. Another one for you. Which of the following is an important place of Indus Valley civilization? Options are Kalibanga, Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, or Ajamgarh. So these are the options, and here's your time. Just think about it. And I hope you got this one right. It was an easy question, and the answer is Ajamgarh. So Ajamgarh is basically a district in our Uttar Pradesh, and currently we can see more about it. So Ajamgarh is not a site of Indus Valley civilization. Indus Valley civilization or Sindhav civilization was an urban civilization. The major sites of Indus Valley civilization are Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, Lothal, Banavali, Dholavira, Rakhigadi, and Kalibanga. Rakhigadi, remember, is the largest site discovered so far of Indus Valley civilization. Another one is the meaning of the name Mohenjo-daro is in his mound of dead. So here are your options, particularly Persian, Urdu, Hindi, and Sindhi. So do tell me the answer and just think about it. And I hope you got this one right. Yes, the answer of this particular question is, you can see here that answer is Sindh. Sindhi language. Mohenjo-daro is in Mound of Dead, and it is particularly written in Sindhi language. In Sindhi language, Mohenjo-daro means the Mound of the Dead. It is considered to be the oldest planned and outstanding city of the world. It is most matured city of the Indus Valley civilization. So remember, the meaning of the name Mohenjo-daro is Mound of Dead, and it is in Sindhi. People of Harappa did not worship which of the following gods? Options are Shiv, Vishnu, Pigeon, or Swastik. And here's your time. Just think about it. Okay, so I hope enough thinking for you. So now you must have got the right answer. And the answer of this question is Vishnu. So basically, if we talk about this word Vishnu, so it come into existence during the Vedic period and not during the Indus Valley civilization. The people of the Harappan civilization did not worship Lord Vishnu. A stamp of swastik and Trimukhi man is shown sitting in the yoga posture on the throne, which is considered to be the original form of Lord Shiva, as you can see in this picture. On its right, there is a marking of elephant, tiger, and on the left side, the rhinoceros and buffalo. The people of Harappan civilization considered the earth as the goddess of fertility and worshipped it. So, do remember the people of Harappa did not worship which of the following gods? So, that is Vishnu among the following options. Another one, the people of Indus Valley civilization worshipped. Options are Hanuman, Kali, Ayappa, or Pashupati. So, here's your time. Just think about it. So doing the last question, I hope you must get that what exactly is important in this chapter, and also one more thing that the Indus Valley civilization, the worship thing is very important thing, and it has been asked so many times in so many different shifts. So the answer of this question is Pashupati. Here you can see in this seal which was discovered from the excavation from these Indus Valley civilization. It is a Pashupati Mahadev seal. Here you can see the person, he is sitting. He has three faces, a crown, and he's sitting in a yogic position. And on his left, on his right, you can see the rhinoceros and buffalo. On his left, the left of him is elephant and tiger. And at his feet, you can see two deers as well. So the people of the Indus Valley civilization worshipped the three-faced deity Pashupati Mahadev. Another one, which of the following limbs of Vedas is known for the explanation and meaning of complex words? So options are in front of you: Kalpa, Chanda, Vyakran, or Nirukta. So just take your time and think about it. So I hope you got this answer right. It is a little bit moderate question, but not very difficult. So the answer of this question is Nirukta. So which of the following limbs of Veda is known for the explanation and meaning of complex words? So that is Nirukta. Remember this. Vedangas are the organ part of Veda. So it is a kind of a limb of Veds. These are six in numbers: Siksha, Chanda, Vyakran, Nirukta, Jyotish, Kalpa. Nirukta is much famous for its description of complex words. It was composed by Yaska, who recognized it as a complementary of Vyakran. The tough words which were out of reach of Vyakran are well described in Nirukta. So do remember what is the meaning of Nirukta, explanation and meaning of complex words. From where have the words Satyamev Jayate, which are inscribed below in the national emblem of India, been taken? So options are Mundak Upanishad, Jatak Tales, Purans, Bhagavad Gita. So just think about it. Have your time. Hope you got this one right. And the answer is quite simple. That is Mundak Upanishad. So number of, first of all, let's talk about Upanishads. So Upanishads number total is 108. And Upanishads are basically those texts which are written by the students of the Maharishis who told them or taught them about the Vedas. The national motto of India, Satyamev Jayate, inscribed below the emblem of India, is taken from Mundak Upanishad. Motto means truth alone triumphs. It is written in Devanagari script. So remember, answer is Mundak Upanishad. Satyamev Jayate is taken from there. Another one, the national motto of India is Satyamev Jayate, means truth always triumphs. Which ancient Indian scripture is the mantra emanating from? So you can see that this question has been asked repeatedly and in different shifts. So just answer me. The options are Rigved, Mundak Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, Matsya, Puran. And here's your time. Okay, I hope you got this one right. And the answer of this question is Mundak Upanishad. The question is same, but has been asked in different way. So the national motto of India is Satyamev Jayate, meaning truth always triumphs, is derived from Mundak Upanishad. It is taken from Ashokan pillar Sarnath built by Emperor Ashoka. Ashoka belongs to Mauryan Empire. Another question, the ancient times, a person was weighed against a commodity and the equivalent weight of that commodity was offered as donation. What was this practice called? So options are Thimithi, Pulikali, Tulabhara, Jali, Katu. So here is your time. Just think about it. So I hope you got this one right, as the answer is quite sensible. That is Tula Bhara. So Tula Bhara, you can also think about it. Answer is Tula Bhara, also known as Tula Purusha or Tula Dana, is an ancient Hindu practice in which a person is weighed against a commodity and the equivalent weight of that commodity is offered as donation. Later on in Mughal period, it was also started by King Akbar. The Vedic time period in India lasted from, so particularly you have to tell the time period for which the Vedic period was there. So our options are 1500 to 500, 336 to 323 BC, 3000 to 2600 BC, 550 to 323 BC. And here's your time. I hope you got this one right, as it is quite simple. So the answer is 1500 to 500 BC. So the age of Vedic civilization was between 1500 to 500 BC. This is the next major civilization after the Indus Valley civilization till 1400 BC. So the options A is correct, that is 1500 BC to 500 BC, in which 1500 to 1000 BC was Rig Vedic age and 1000 to 500 was later Vedic age. Dhanur Ved is the Upved of Yajurved. It deals with, the options are medicine, architecture, art and music, art of warfare. And just take your time and think. And I hope you got this one right as well. So the answer of this question is art of warfare. As you can see, the word comes Dhanur. That means bow and arrow. So Dhanur Ved is the Upved of the Yajur Ved. Okay. And if we talk about the Yajur Ved, so Yajur Ved is that all Ved in which the hymns are recited in prose and poetry style. So Dhanur Ved is the Upved of Yajur Ved and deals with archery. It is a Sanskrit treatise on warfare and archery, traditionally regarded as an Upved attached to Yajur Ved and attributed either to Bhrigu or Vishwamitra or Bhardwaj. These are the rishis whom this particular Ved is related to. So do remember the answer is D, that is art of warfare. In which of the following Vedas the knowledge related to music is stored? So the options are in front of you: Rig Ved, Atharva Ved, Samved or Yajur Ved. Just take your time. And I hope you got this one right. So the answer of this question is Samved. So particularly if we are talking about the music, so Samved is a particular Ved that is related to music, and Samved mentions about music and is known as the father of Indian music. It is also called a book of melodies. It is a part of four Vedas, namely Rig Ved, Samved, Yajurved, and Atharva Ved. One of the four Upveds, Gandharva Ved, deals with the music, dance, poetry, and is associated with Samved. So do remember that Gandharva Ved, that is an Upved, and Samved are both related to music. Which of the following Veds describe music? So question is same but asked in a different way. So just answer me as you have options and take your time. I hope you got this one right. So the answer of this question is Samved. As you can see here that Samved mentions about music. It is also called the book of melodies. It is a part of four Vedas, namely Rigved, Samved, Yajurved, and Atharva Ved. One of the four Upveds, Gandharva Ved, deal with the music, dance, poetry, and is associated with Samved. So I hope you get to know that what is Samved related to. Which is the oldest of the four Vedas? So options are Samved, Atharvaved, Yajurved, and Rigved. This is a simple question. I hope every one of you can answer this. And correctly, the answer according to you is Rigved. I hope I'm very confident that you got it right. So one of the four Vedas, Rigved, Samved, Yajurved, Atharvaved, the Rigved is the oldest and therefore is also known as the first testament of mankind. Rigved contains 1028 hymns divided into 10 mandals. The 10th mandal contains the Purushuk. The famous Gayatri mantra is originated from 3rd mandal of Rigved. The hymn of Rigved was recited by Hotri. So remember this very well. Gayatri mantra was written by Vishwamitra. You can add into this particular thing. So the oldest Ved is Rigved. Again, the question is same but has been asked in different way. So the oldest Ved is, just take your time and here are your options. And I hope we just discussed about this one. So the answer according to you will be Rigved. So Rigved, one of the four Vedas, Rigved, Samved, Yajurved, Atharvaved. The Rigved is the oldest and therefore is also known as the first testament of mankind. Rigved contains 1028 hymns divided into 10 mandals. The 10th mandal contains the Purushuk. The famous Gayatri mantra is originated from 3rd mandal of Rigved. Hymns of Rigved were recited by Hotri, that is a particular um, person who is capable of reciting the hymns. Another question, and you have just read about the Rigved, and the question is same, but it is just a question is there are mantras in Rigved which include the unproven Valkilya hymns. So options are 1549, 1028 hymns, 760 or 1875 hymns. So just take your time. And yes, you got it right. As you have read about this in the last two questions, the number of hymns under Rig Veda are 1028. One of the four Rig Vedas, Rig Veda, Samved, Yajurved, Atharved. Rig Veda is oldest and therefore is known for the first testament of mankind. Rig Veda contains 1028 hymns divided into 10 mandals. The 10th mandal contains the Purushuk. Famous Gayatri mantra written by Vishwamitra was originated from the 3rd mandal of Rig Veda. The hymns of Rigved were recited by Putri. So do remember this, that 1028 hymns are there in Rigved. Another question and has been asked in different ways. So Rigved has mantra 1014, 1028, 1035, 1020. Just take your time. And very fine. The answer is 1028. Out of the four Vedas, Rigved, Samved, Yajurved, Atharved. Rigved is the oldest and therefore also known as the first testament of mankind. Rigved contains 1028 hymns divided into 10 mandals. The 10th mandal contains the Purushuk. Famous Gayatri mantra is originated from the 3rd mandal of Rigved. The hymns of Rigved were recited by Putri. Another question. So Mundak Upanishad belongs to. So it is asking you that Mundak Upanishad is related to which Ved? So options Samved, Atharved, Yajurved, Rigved. Just take your time. And correctly, the answer of this question is Atharva Ved. The Mundak Upanishad belongs to the Atharva Ved. It is an ancient Sanskrit text and is listed as number 5 in Muktika canon of 108 Upanishads of Hinduism. It is of much significance as the national motto of India, Satyamev Jayate, has been taken from it. So do remember that Mundak Upanishad is related to Atharva Ved. Atharva Ved is the last among all and the newest Ved among all. Another question. So Vedas are considered as the earliest literary record of Indo-Aryan civilization. There are four Vedas: Rigved, Samved, Yajurved, and the fourth one is. So options are Atharva, Dhanurved, Ayurved, Shilpved. I hope after doing so many questions, this question would not be very difficult. Just take your time. And yes, the answer of this question is Atharva Ved. So Atharva Ved basically is the last of the four Vedas and is the newest one. The Vedas are considered the earliest literary record of Indo-Aryan civilization, which was compiled by Maharishi Krishna Devapayan, also known as Ved Vyas. They give information about the Vedic religion and proved a detailed account of the people of that time. There are of four in numbers, namely Rigved, Yajurved, Samved, and Atharva Ved. So remember the answer is the option, that is Atharva Ved. Which of the following Veda tells about the magical rituals and captivations? Options are Atharved, Samved, Somved, Rigved, or Yajurved. So just tell me about this and take your time. And yes, the answer of this question it will be, as you can see, the answer is Atharva Ved. Atharva Ved is the last among all and the newest one. Atharva Ved, also called Brahm Ved. Remember this point very well. It is also called Brahm Ved. The Ved is named after the name of Atharva Rishi. It has 20 chapters, 731 sukta, and 6,000 mantras. It describes mantras related to Vashikaran, magical charm, ghosts, and medicines. The earliest mention of Kashi is found in the Atharva Ved. So remember, Atharva Ved has particularly can tell about the magical rituals and captivations. Another one, what is the meaning of Yajur in Yajur Veda? Options are life, nature, sacrifice, or true. Just take your time and think. And I hope you got this one right, as it is very simple. The answer is sacrifice. So Yajur in Yajur Ved means sacrifice. Yajur Ved is made of two different words, Yajus and Ved. Yajus here means worship, sacrifice, religious reverence, and Yajur, etc. Yajurved is written in both prose and poetry styles, which I told you earlier in the earlier questions. Yajurved is particularly also known for sacrifice, as a lot of different type of sacrifice rituals like Ashwamedh Yag is also under the Yajur Ved. In which of the following Veds treatment of disease is given? Yajur Ved, Rig Ved, Samved, Atharva Ved. Just think about this. And yes, you got it right. The answer is Atharva Ved, because Atharva Ved, apart from telling about the magical rituals and other things, it also tells about the treatment of diseases. It was composed by the sage Atharva, and it is the last Ved among all and the newest one. In which of the following Upanishad is the word Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam mentioned? So options are Maha Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, or Keno Upanishad. So just take your time. Yes, you got it right. As we know that Vasudev Kutumbakam is also the particular motto of G20 meeting last year 2023 in India. So it was taken from Maha Upanishad. The word Vasudev Kutumbakam is mentioned in Maha Upanishad. It means the word is a family. Upanishads are considered to be the main. Options are 10811, 11622, 10012, 9910. Just take your time. And I hope you got this one right, as the answer is 10811. So Upanishads are the basic source of all Indian philosophy. They are also called Vedant. Very important, remember this. 108 Vedas are mentioned in Muktika Upanishad in Indian history, but only 11 Upanishads are considered authentic, of which the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is the largest. Mundak Upanishad is the smallest, 12 verse only, and Chandogya Upanishad is the oldest. So remember which was the oldest? Chandogya Upanishad. The smallest one, Mundak Upanishad, from which Satyamev Jayati was taken off, and the largest one is Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad. So total number of Vedas are 108, but only 11 Upanishads are considered authentic. Another question, the oldest Upanishad is. We just talked about this one and the question is in front of you. This is called practice, guys. So options are Isha Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad, Ken Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad. Just take your time. And yes, we just discussed about this one. So the answer is Chandogya Upanishad. So Upanishads are the basic source of all Indian philosophy. They are also called as Vedant. 108 Upanishads are written in Muktika Upanishad in Indian history, but only 11 Upanishads are considered authentic, of which the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is the largest. Mundak Upanishad is the smallest, and Chandogya Upanishad is the oldest. We just discussed about this one. According to the real Indian philosopher, each object is made up of basic elements. So, how many of elements we are made of? So, just tell about this one. Options are 2, 4, 3, and 5. So, just take your time. And yes, the answer you got is right, as we are made of 5 elements: air, fire, water, ether, and earth. So, these are the 5 elements we are made of. And the Pancha Bhuta, Panch Tattva or Panch Mahabhuta is considered as the origin of all substance in Indian philosophy. These 5 elements are considered to be the great powers of sky, air, fire, water, and earth, by whose creation every substance is made of. But the material made from these are rooted. They need a soul to become alive. The soul is called Purusha in Vedic literature. In Sankhya philosophy, nature is believed to be composed of these 5 elements. So remember, Purusha in Vedic literature is the word of soul, and total number of elements we are made of is are 5. Kathopanishad records the conversation between a teenager named Nachiketa and a deity. Which of the following god is speaking to Nachiketa? Very important question, and I hope you got this one right. This is a very famous story. So options are Lord Ganesh, Shiv, Lord Yam, or Lord Kartikeya. Just take your time. And yes, you got this one right, guys. The answer of this question of this very famous story is Lord Yam. So Lord Yam was talking to Nachiketa, and Nachiketa was asking for spiritualism, for spirituality knowledge, and that was given by Lord Yam to Nachiketa. In Kathopanishad, there is a conversation between Nachiketa and the deity Yam. It is a Upanishad of Krishna Yajurved branch. The author of this Upanishad is Acharya named Kath. So the answer is Lord Yam. Let's revise what we have learned in this session. So in Harappan civilization flourished around 2500 BC. Today the regions are known as West India and Pakistan. Origins, the Indus Valley civilization dates back to approximately 2500 BC. Important features, key aspects include building made of bricks. Era, it is categorized as the Bronze Age civilization. Alloy production, the people mixed copper and tin to make bronze. Notable locations, Ajamgarh is not the part of Indus Valley civilization. Meaning of Mohenjo-daro, translate to Mount of the Dead in Sindhi. Worship practices, the people did not worship Vishnu but did worship Pashupati. After that, in Vedic literature, Vedic explanation, the limb known for explaining complex word is Vyakaran. Satyamev Jayate is derived from the Mundaka Upanishad. Vedic period lasted from 1500 BC to 500 BC. Dhanurved, this Ved deals with the art of warfare. Music in Vedas, knowledge of music is primarily found in Samved. Oldest Ved, the Rig Ved is the oldest of the four Ved, containing 1028 hymns. Atharva Ved, this Ved includes magical rituals and captivations. Yajur Ved, the meaning of Yajur is sacrifice. Treatment of diseases are addressed in the Atharva Ved. Vasudev Kutumbakam, mentioned in the Brihadranyaka Upanishad. Main Upanishads, there are 108 Upanishads recognized as significant. Oldest Upanishad, the Isha Upanishad, is considered the oldest. Philosophical elements. So, according to Indian philosophy, objects are made of 5 basic elements. Katha Upanishad features a conversation between Nachiketa and Lord Yam. And that's it in this session, guys. I hope you get to know a lot of things and gained a lot of knowledge in this session. I will meet you once again in next session, in which we will discuss some more things about the history and get to know some more questions, and that will help you in your preparation and clearing the exams. Till the time we meet, bye bye, take care everyone, and see you soon.